Well, as expected, emergency services have stayed at the scene here in Aberdeenshire, and they will be here, I imagine, for the next few days at least. Over the hill is where the crash took place, and their investigators are working day and night to try and get some answers. The impact of this crash is clear to see, but exactly how this tragedy played out is still to be revealed. What has emerged today is the names of those who lost their lives on this line. Train driver Brett McCullough on the left and conductor Donald Dinnie were two of those killed yesterday morning, along with a passenger on board. Scotland's First Minister expressing her sadness today.
But of course I'm thinking particularly of the bereaved families who face an experience that all of us dread, coming to terms with the sudden and tragic loss of a loved one. No words can ease their pain, nor the awful reality that they are now forced to confront. But the hearts of a nation are with them today. All we can do right now is send them love and support, and in doing so, I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone across Scotland.
This video posted by Network Rail yesterday was filmed before news of the crash emerged. It's not far from where it happened, and it shows the conditions the train set off into. In torrential rain, the 6:38 Aberdeen to Glasgow service tried to make it south, but just outside Stonehaven it's understood to have hit a landslip, coming off the tracks and tumbling down an embankment. 12 people were on board. It's emerged Network Rail was warned about potential problems 4 weeks ago. In its annual health and safety report, the Office for Road and Rail warned about an increase in landslips and said the network was vulnerable. Network Rail, which looks after the tracks across the country, says it's talking to weather forecasters to get quicker information on flash flooding and has announced it's carrying out inspections on a few dozen higher risk slopes. It reports to Grant Shapps, who arrived on the scene earlier. He wants a report from the body urgently.
Network Rail have had a good reputation as far as the accident records and deaths have been concerned, which is what makes this all the more shocking. It's because we haven't seen this for so long. So I want to see that report on my desk interim by the 1st of September.
But one expert says Network Rail faces huge challenges.
It's well known that climate change is putting an increasing strain on the network, on its infrastructure. And the other thing is that we were fairly early in the game building railways, and the vast majority of our railways were built by 1870. That means all these thousands of embankments and cuttings in the main are more than 150 years old.
It had been 13 years since a rail crash took the lives of train staff or passengers in the UK. Now investigators are working day and night to help avoid another and get the answers the families of those killed deserve.
And Alan, I gather that we have now heard from the family of one of the victims.
Yeah, we are starting to hear more about those involved in this awful tragedy, and the family of Brett McCullough, who was a driver of the train, have released a statement saying words cannot describe the utterly devastating effects of Brett's death on his family and friends. We have lost a wonderful husband, father and son in the most awful of circumstances. Brett was the most decent and loving human being we have ever known, and his passing leaves a huge void in all our lives. 6 people were taken to hospital with injuries, some of them serious, and we are waiting on an update on that. In terms of this train line, when that will reopen, it is one of the busiest in Scotland, but that's not expected to reopen until at least next week.
Alan, thank you.